welcome back to another episode of Low Tech Garage. On this episode, I'm going to be finishing up the MGB that we've been working on for the last couple episodes, and hopefully we can go out for a test drive. So for those who are just new to the channel, this MGB 1978 is in for recommissioning for one of our clients. And so really what that means is fresh fluid change throughout the car, rebuilt the carburetor, and getting that all dialed in, and then we're going to get it back on the open road and make sure that it's running good and has nice kind of drivability characteristics. So in the last episode, I was able to get all the fluids done, the carb rebuilt, and I did take it just around the shop here for a quick spin and noticed that the brakes were not behaving as they should. And this is why the rear drums are off. I noticed, although if we come in here, these cylinders are new, this one specifically was leaking. And so I've suggested that although these are new, the car sat a long time, this was leaking, that we put new rear cylinders in and flush all the brakes again, and hopefully get us much better brakes. So right here is one of the new wheel cylinders, the other one's on its way. So I'm going to be working on getting these swapped in, and then like I said, get all the rear brakes adjusted and fluid flushed through them so we have proper brakes. As I have the top back down, look at this lovely little interior in this thing. It's definitely a treat to sit behind, and looking forward to driving it around with the top down. And in here it looks back to normal, which is a good sign. I do have a few little tweaks with the carburetor still to go. Once it's warm, it's running great, but I just want to mess with the choke circuit so that its cold start's a little more consistent. I really don't need too much choke here in Florida. And so I think I've got it set with just a little bit too much choke on cold start, so I'm going to dial that out a little bit here too. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to get these wheel cylinders out and swap back in the new ones, and then we got to get the whole braking system bled, but then it should be time to take it on the road and actually see how it drives. And for those eagle-eyed viewers, you might notice our XJS is missing a few components, which means we're one step closer to paint, and a video coming on this very soon. And just like that, we ran into an issue. Let me show you what we're dealing with. So while trying to bleed the new brake cylinders, I was not getting a good pedal feel, and this is what I found. So basically right here, lots of rust around the inner piece of the master cylinder. And fundamentally, all this corrosion that you can basically wipe off has been getting inside, and the seals have failed internally. So we're not building pressure in the braking system. So with a little movie magic, let me show you what I've done to rectify that. So had to wait a few days, but you can see here we have a brand new master cylinder and nice clean brake fluid. And I was able to flush through the entire system, get all the old fluid out so it's nice and clean like this, and we now have a regular feeling brake pedal. So like I mentioned, that was a multi-day detour to get back to where I was and getting ready for a test drive, but now we have brakes, which is always confidence inspiring. So I'm going to get the car started up and just make sure it's running pretty good, and then let's take it for a quick drive and see how it's behaving. right, well, that was a great first drive. The car actually performed really well. I was able to get it up to 50, 55 miles an hour, go through all the gears. Brakes are working great now, which is awesome. Definitely not as scary as before. Have a few fine tweaks. I think the choke that I got it dialed in on now is probably a little too high for the climate. So going to try and dial that back a little bit and just adjust the idle just a little bit, because I just want it to kind of idle a little more happy when the motor's warm and you're going through the gears and then dip the clutch in. It gets a little bit grumpy, so I just need to tweak that a little bit. But we're really into the fine-tuning phases now. So I'll probably end up taking out for one more drive and bring you guys along with me. But that just about sums up the MGB project. I'm gonna give it a bath for the client, so it's nice and shiny when it comes back. I'll show you, I already cleaned out the interior a little bit for them, but you know, I wanna return it nice so they can hop in and start enjoying it. So if anyone has any questions about the MGB, let me know. I've learned a lot along the way with this, but it's a lovely little car, and actually today in Florida, it's in the 60s, and it's just the perfect top-down weather kind of day to drive one of these things. So with that, let me flip over, show you the interior, how I've cleaned it up, and we'll be getting close to wrapping this video up. So there you have it. Really hard to imagine this thing being 45 years old now. I've kind of given the interior a quick once over. The seats are all in great shape. Really nice. Carpets are nice and clean. There might be a few little cosmetic things, but it's super nice. So, like I said, I'm gonna give this thing a bath, and then we'll get some nice glamour shots of this thing as well. And as promised, I did clean her up. She's looking really nice. It's a little cramped in the shop, so we'll see what we can show you, but I think I can easily say the client is gonna be extremely happy with not only how she looks, but definitely how she drives. I did also take some time back here to get the top put away properly, get the seat belts all figured out, and really kind of clean up any last little bits and pieces in here. So it's about as new as you're gonna see without a full restoration. And yeah, it's just a great little sports car that's ready to enjoy the fall weather out here. So thank you all for coming along for this little detour over the last month. This has been a really welcome car in the shop. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been super rewarding getting it back up on the road, and really look forward to the client's reaction when I return it here in the next couple of days. So for those of you that are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, get the bell, so you don't miss out more on cars like this. And obviously the ones lurking here in the background, like this, and some of the other ones we have that will be coming back in the shop now we have some room. The XJS that's lurking under here is gonna be getting really torn into now, and we're gonna be sending her off to paint here in the next probably week or two. So wanna bring you along for that journey, because it's gonna be a really nice outcome when it's done. So that's it on the MG build. And thank you all for watching, and we'll be back on the next one here soon.